We are told a great deal by foreign periodicals that Malta is a delightful place. This, of course, we know for ourselves, but there is one flaw in the perfection of Malta, and that consists in the vast numbers of dirty books which prevail here in people's homes, in schools, and in universities. There is one particular story in one particular book, of which many copies are to be found here, that comes into my mind as an example of the kind of thing to which the Malta reading public is subjected. It's a story about a woman who hates a man and determines to take revenge on him. She arranges for her 2 sons to rape the married daughter of the man, and before raping her, to murder her husband. This they do, using the corpse of the husband as a pillow on which to execute the double rape. When the rape has been completed, they cut the girl's tongue out and cut off her hands, so that she can neither utter nor write down the names of her assailants. But she takes a stick between her arms and writes their names on the sand. Her father sees the names, invites the 2 miscreants to his house, and there kills them. He bakes their flesh in a pie, making the flour for this pie by grinding up their bones. Then he invites their mother to a feast. She indulges in the most unmaternal cannibalism. He murders her, murders his own daughter, who has brought shame on herself and shame on the house, and he murders himself. That story is, as I have said, to be found here in Malta. The fact that it was written by William Shakespeare, it is his Titus Andronicus, does not really excuse him or exculpate the fact, but authors like myself must wonder sometimes what kind of standard of obscenity prevails on this island. There are Dante reading circles, and every Englishman who reads Dante knows filthy lines. There are presumably the works of Rabelais, that great doctor and luminary of the early Renaissance. What precisely is the standard prevailing on this island which decides that one book is dirty and another is not? This is a question I ask academically. It is a question which is very near to me, very privy, because I am a writer, and believe it or not, no writer, certainly no novelist, deliberately writes obscenity any more than he deliberately perpetrates libel. He writes books to elucidate certain aspects of life, to entertain, but he also writes books to make money. It is his trade. I have a friend, a writer, a distinguished English writer, Kingsley Amis, who cannot understand why 2 of his novels, which are of theological content, are banned on this island, whereas books, many banal, like Lucky Jim, are freely read. I cannot understand why certain books of mine are allowed on this island in English, but when they come out in French, are immediately impounded by the postal authorities. So what I am trying to aim at is the establishment of some kind of rationale which will be helpful to us as writers, and you as readers, and will elucidate for all of us the meaning of this very vague and subjective term, obscenity, and its ugly sister, pornography. The term obscenity is so subjective, so inflammatory, that apparently to attempt any kind of semantic elucidation is not easy. The word carries so much weight, it will do very well as an emotional counter, but not as a semantic counter. What is an obscene thing? It is a thing which corrupts. What is a thing which corrupts? It is an obscene thing. The argument is circular. If we appeal to etymology and find out what the origin of the word was in Latin, we are given no help. Obscenitus, obscenus. The terms have something to do with things of bad omen. The term is thrown around subjectively, as I say, but ultimately it always seems to have some connection with a particular mode of disgust, a disgust which derives from a particular zone of the human body or particular activities of the human body. In other words, we regard the lowlier, the purgative functions of the human body as necessary evils, things we must not talk about very much. And anything connected with these, thrown at us deliberately for some artistic, moral, or immoral purpose, calls into being the term obscene.